Hi, Tony Selzer here. I've got probably one of the most exciting shows that I've had in a long time. Uh, Big data is one of those buzzwords that's getting a lot of fluff and a lot of hot air in the market. But I really think we got a company in crowd analytics, and the CEO, Divyabh, I knew I was going to murder that. Divyabh Mishra is on our show today, and looking at this global business problem and this shortage that we have in data scientists and figuring out a way to hack, and I mean hack, how we acquire answers for businesses today to create and compress the questions, the big questions that pharma is facing or medical device or providers are facing. I mean, this is what we're talking about today in crowd analytics. Now, how did this come about? How did this idea, this vision get created? I mean, this is some pretty cutting stuff. We spent the last 30 minutes and I've really been fascinated. What inspired you to start this organization?
Hey, Tony, firstly, thanks for having me here. I guess it started with, my experiences prior to crowd analytics. I noticed that, there's a lot of talk around big data. There is a lot of potential, all of the CEOs want something out of it, but there's very little strategy. And primarily the reason was the lack of quality data scientists. That's the first problem, and the second was someone who can understand the business problem and translate it for this data scientist, so that he can become useful, right? That's the second problem, and the third is, of course, the entire issue around data silos, different structures, data with a lot of noise. All of this, made it very difficult for companies to come up with solutions that were actually useful and could influence business. Yeah, go ahead.
So you saw this, right? And I know I don't want to steal any of your thunder, but you saw this, and then you said, there's got to be a different way to deliver the solutions these organizations need. I mean, we got money that is exponential when we're talking about. We got a shortage in talent. We don't have access. A lot of this talent may not be within arm's reach of the organizations that need this at the cost structure they did. And so you built a platform and a network, or a platform that's on a network, right? And so you're allowing them to have access to resources that they'd never had access before to solve some of these problems. But it's not really a straight tech play, because it's a managed service bolted on with a proprietary technology, right? I mean, it's a solution end to end, right? I mean, am I missing this?
No, it's a solution, and it's so the goal here is to solve big data problems, right? And to solve them, we have done two things that were serious bottlenecks that companies were facing. The first is giving them access to the best resources, and the only way you can make that happen is figure out and create a platform that aggregates all of the best resources from around the world. And the way you ensure that these resources are available at low cost and quality is by getting these guys to compete against each other to deliver the best possible solutions back to the clients, right? So if you can manage to do these two things, and of course have a single point interface with a client who understands their business problem and helps them translate that into data problems, I think you have a winner right at that point. And that's what's been working for us, and that's why some of the top clients are considering us.
Well, and then you took it a step further, Divyabh. You gamified it on the back end, so there was a natural competition and compression to deliver results, because the visualization of being a participant and seeing other guys beat my solution drove me to want to. You brought other emotional factors in there beyond just compensation, beyond just I got a deadline and project, and that is one of the things that I think is really disruptive about your platform. You're bringing in these economics, yes, check. The big problem, big data analytics, check. But gamifying it on the back end, I mean, that's something really disruptive companies are figuring out ways to do, and that's part of what you're doing, right?
I think, yeah, exactly. And that's what makes the solutions better than what the clients themselves are able to produce. Now, think of it this way, right? The guys we are dealing with here are mathematicians. They are smart PhDs, with backgrounds in biostatistics, financial modeling. They're really good at what they do, and part of the motivation or the remuneration is being able to compete with peers, and literally in an open leaderboard, see their names higher up than most of their own contemporaries, right? And that is a huge motivator, which is what they want, and which gets us the best possible solutions as well.
Amen. Amen. Not only that, I mean, when you dedicate your whole life to learn and study something, you want to be recognized amongst your peers, and you recognize what your peers are doing, right? So, I mean, that is, I don't want to underwhelm that at all, right? I mean, so this comes together, and you got a BA on the front end to translate all that, from the scientist version into the business problem, because that back and forth to create a deliverable that actually creates a result. And not only that, just to make it sweeter, to make the deal sweeter, you do 70% of your compensations based on the result. So, I mean, it's kind of the best of all the worlds. I mean, and for that, you're getting rewarded with the biggest brands in the game, right?
Absolutely. So, since this is the moment you gamify all of this, right, and you make it into a competition, what you're essentially saying is that if you can meet the outcome expectations, and as long as they have been pointed out clearly, ahead of time that the clients are going to get a solution that meets or exceeds their expectations. And if they don't, there is no obligation to make the payouts to these guys, right? So they're all constantly working on making sure those expectations are met. And what that ensures is quality, and what that ensures is the client knows they will get what they want. Otherwise, they don't even have to pay, the outcome-based component. So yes, so it's a risk-free way of getting the best possible solutions to your problems.
Amen.
I don't see an alternative, frankly.
Yeah, it's a cool business. It's a great solution to a very big problem, and it's great having you on the show, man.
Sure. Same here, Tony. Thanks for having me.